Shemar Stewart, 5-star defensive lineman from Monsignor Pace High School down in South Florida. The 6'6", 270-pounder checks in as the number 12 overall prospect in the class of 2022 on 24/7 Sports Composite Rankings, is the second-rated defensive lineman and number 1 player overall from the state of Florida. Stewart, he's got that sauce coming off the edge. He's one of the best and most talented players in high school football. And hey, they call this dude the menace for a reason because he gets into the backfield and makes havoc. Stewart's going to be a guy I expect to make an instant impact as a true freshman when he does get to college, and I also wouldn't be surprised if Stewart is a future first-round pick in the NFL draft. Stewart's also got that perfect combination of size and speed. He has tremendous wingspan, knows how to use his hands, and is one of the best edge rushers in the class of 2022. Now, back in December, he dropped his top 3. It features Texas A&M, Miami, and Georgia. And right now, Texas A&M is the crystal ball leader. And an NFL comp I got for Stewart is the Philadelphia Eagles' Josh Sweat.
And the day has finally arrived. There you see the prospect profile for Shemar Stewart, stud player there. We've talked about him for months and months, and this is the day that it's been leading up to. We finally get to hear from the man himself, and we will do it moments from now. This is a name that's been thrown around a lot this morning and this afternoon. Team recruiting rankings will be decided based on what we're about to hear, and for that, we are going straight to the site. Shemar Stewart is prepared to make his commitment. We welcome him in now. Shemar, thank you for joining us. Before we get your commitment, I want to ask you, the day's finally here. What have the days leading up to this moment been like for you?
The days leading up has been really crazy, you know. I'm just glad it's about to be over.
And we are as well. And with that in mind, I'm going to turn it over to you. The floor is yours. Shemar Stewart, go ahead, make your decision.
First off, I want to thank God, my family, my coaches, my mom, my dad, all my father figures, Coach Shem, and the Pace athletic staff. And with that being said, for the next 3 to 4 years, I'll be going. It was. This will always be home. I always love you for opportunity, but I have to choose my own path. So, with that being said,
Shemar Stewart making it official. He is heading to Texas A&M, charting a path, as he said, for himself from South Florida. So, Shemar, I want to ask you first and foremost, what went into the final decision? Why Texas A&M?
You know, the foundation we built, the relationships we made, you know, the coaching staff was intact. You know, Miami just got a DC, so I didn't really trust that too much. So,
at the end of the day, when you've watched the class that Jimbo Fisher and his staff have put together, outside of just your own, how much did it matter to see how much other talent has agreed to head to College Station?
I mean, it matters, you know, because, you know, it's something special when all those top players want to play with each other.
In the last few hours of this, how close was this? I mean, when did you ultimately make your decision that it was going to be Texas A&M?
Right now.
Shemar Stewart headed to Texas A&M. We appreciate you joining us. Congratulations to Shemar Stewart, everyone there, and Texas A&M. They pick up a big one, and now that has obviously, guys, immediate impact on the 24/7 Sports team recruiting rankings. But I also want to revisit just moments ago when we saw the Miami hat get picked up, and then it gets set back down, and then the Texas A&M hat gets picked up. You guys know, because you've been around the block a time or 10. It's not done until it's done. What were the feelings?
I know my man here had a story ready with quotes from Shemar talking about his Aggie commitment, but what if he would have got caught up in that atmosphere?
Yeah, I mean, I was a little I was nervous, right? I said Miami was working the phones all morning, all night with Kevin Steele. I know there were some conversations that happened. I actually got a text 2 minutes before this all went down, get your popcorn ready. So I was sweating some bullets over here, but hey, relationships won out here. Texas A&M is a school that Shemar, he knows best, and what's impressive, how many blue chip defensive linemen do they have now in that group? And I think what Jimbo has done is he's creating a situation where the cream's going to rise to the top, right? The best of the best are going to play. And Shemar, I personally think his ceiling is the first round of the NFL. It's going to come down to how hard he wants to work, and he has all of the potential just with his size, strength, speed, all that stuff.
You talked about those relationships there, and I think James Coley has done a terrific job recruiting that part of the state. Coach Price involved, Coach Elijah Robinson, and then Texas A&M. They've really invested in their off-field recruiting staff. They got some real aces working off-field, and in this one, Bryant Gross-Armiento, who's another South Florida guy, played his high school football in Fort Lauderdale. I think he was as integral as anybody in this recruitment of Shemar and helping lure him away from South Florida, where he said would be his home, to Texas A&M, where he's going to go do something different and be an Aggie and be part of this historic class that now ranks #1 nationally, or our top-ranked recruiting class in the 24/7 Sports era.